Autism is a bliss. If you do not hear the noisy world, or if you learn to see through the sky, autism has its own challenges. Do not fight them. Accept life. See what life is showing you. Life is music. If you can listen, autism is only a word for those who do not understand. I guess countless individuals who consider themselves autistic at an extreme level or just very subtle levels with really fantastic changes. And I guess the key to my success with people who have autism is that, one, I don't consider it a disease at all. I don't consider it a physical issue of the brain. Actually, I'm not a doctor or anything. I'm not a scientist, but the work that I do have massively transformed individuals. And I'll just give you some of the examples. This one individual, we were doing a online event. We were doing and they were watching it, and it was an 8-hour event. Okay, and the mother of this young child was listening in on the event, and it wasn't even about autism. It was about romance and having a great relationship. And she said that that young child of hers that could not sit still for nothing sat glued in front of her TV for the 8 hours, and he did not move. Right, and the severity of his autism was he could not read. He very few words. He couldn't pay attention or anything. Two days later, it was on the weekend. 2 days later, he goes back to school and he starts reading full sentences, full books, actually, on that. And he sat again for 2 days, got nothing to do, no information on autism or anything like that. And that was one of the first, although I've worked on autistic kids, in the past, but that was the first experience. It's like, whoa, wait a second. How did that happen? So, and that's where I delved into, why autistic people are autistic. So I delved into it and I started to do a lot of research. And it's basically, when I see it, is that those individuals live in another reality. And that's why they see things from a very different perspective. They see the beauty and grace of life. Now, some people who are autistic, they might be in a reality that's maybe not so grand, not so beautiful, and this is where individuals who have autistic loved ones in their life, and they live in these dark realities, so it becomes really hard, to live with somebody those kind of realities. But the key is again, it's nothing in here. It literally is that they render themselves in another reality. And you look at them and they think their reality that they're seeing, although it's not say real in our mind, it's real in their mind. So in that situation, I look at autism as a displacement of realities, not a distortion of, say, mental features or chemical features. People who are autistic, the majority are living from a better place, and they look at this reality, and the reason why it's harder for them is like, they look at this reality, it's like, damn, why are we living in this reality? So they're highly intelligent. They're observers. Autistic individuals are observers, guys. You might not think that they're paying attention. They're paying attention to all the details because they're looking into your reality, the way we see things, from an outside perspective. And it's very, very different. So they're very, very observant. So mind that. Just start to note that if you do, work with people who are autistic, just know, just trust me that they're very observant. You can ask them minute details about, say, a certain scenario, which will actually help them, and they'll tell you about it. The other aspect, again, a small percentage would live in a reality that's not so great. And this is where they get into, say, torment. They get to those people who are autistic, they might start to, like, say, abuse themselves or hurt themselves or abuse others. Okay? Again, it's in the reality that they exist in. It's not the current reality that their body or what we experience in. Okay? And I just want to read this writing. A good friend of mine who is autistic, and I do work with him, and he's transformed really well, really massively, but he chooses to stay on the other side because this reality doesn't make sense. And if you look at this reality, if you were an alien looking at this reality, it's like, wow, people shouldn't be treating people like that. Look at the wars, look at all the abuse patterns, look at how we treat our kids or our loved ones and stuff. So he's a very good observer, and again, he writes these beautiful poems. He doesn't speak really well, but he uses pointing to words and typewriters to create this beautiful poem. And he was saying, and somebody had asked him, his therapist had asked him, what's autism? And he said that autism is a bliss. If you do not hear the noisy world, or if you learn to see through the sky, autism has its own challenges. Do not fight them. Accept life. See what life is showing you. Life is music. If you can listen, autism is only a word for those who do not understand. So he's basically, and he's this individual that he and I, we converse, telepathically, really. And some of you might go, well, telepathically, that can't be real. It's real. People who've had infants, that baby, that infant talks to you, right? Exactly, they're communicating with you at a very high level, and exactly what that baby wants, although they can't physically communicate. So yes, that's real. And we have the greatest conversations, and he has the most, say, unbelievable concepts on what this reality could be. A high level thinker. There's a lot of autistic individuals who think a lot like Lenny, maybe not as bright as this young man, but a beautiful concept. He's looking at the world on how it could be. He's seeing this reality, and he's seeing the other side as well. And it's like, hey, wait a second. Why can't we live in this space? Why do you want to live in this space? I don't know. So is autism a disease, or do we have a disease that we're not seeing the reality that we should? Right? So, and that's really, think about it. Look at the world that you're living in. Look at the world that, this young man is living in. It's a lot more beautiful on the other side, guys. Okay. But the key is that the physical features, the physical presence is here. So how do we bring that world here? I think we could learn a lot from, say, autistic people. And what I do literally is that I bring those individuals, those concepts that those autistic individuals have, and learn or help them learn to, say, create it here in this reality. So their life becomes beauty. Their life becomes, say, a great, say, presence of being here. They can actually feel and experience their life here rather than, say, moving away from it, or rather than escaping life, like most of us do anyway, right? They just tend to escape a bit farther from it. They've literally had a tool or have figured out how to escape life, say, at a deep, deep level, right? Where they can't actually disconnect from their body and still stay here. If you know someone with autism, have them try this. Start what I call spatial referencing. And spatial referencing is a fantastic tool. It's literally the mechanics on becoming really present. It allows you to understand, it allows you to understand where you render or how you see the reality that you exist in. Okay. And it's very, very simple. It doesn't cost anything. Just allow, or it'll benefit you as well. Is that, for your autistic loved one, ask them to tell you, it's like, hey, the couch is there. Where are you in reference to the couch? Right? Where are you? Where's that smell coming from? But always do the object or the reference first, and then their body. So say, for example, a scent it's coming from the kitchen. Where are you compared to the kitchen? Does that make sense? Or if they're sitting on something, what are they sitting on compared to, the body surface that's touching whatever they're sitting on. Notice where their hands are. It's like, hey, tell them that this is your hand. Can you feel it? And you'll be surprised that you'll actually see their demeanor change as they step back into their body. You'll see that their functionalities, their speech patterns, they're taking care of themselves, and so on, will get better and better and better. These individuals are not dumb. They're not mentally, unstable. They know they're highly intelligent individuals, but they just don't know how the body actually works, or how the body works in this reality, because they exist in another concept or another, say, reality of themselves. To go deeper into the work, what I do is allow them advanced spatial referencing. Okay, and it's all about frequency work. I can work on them through, a parent, or a loved one, and they can experience the changes. And what I do in those frequency sessions is allow them to understand that, hey, your body is created in this simulation of yourself, or this reality. You're thinking your body is created at another state, another reality. And then they start to understand where they're starting to create their body, and their identity of where they think they're creating their body. And again, the same process, but I just do it at a much faster, much more efficient level for them. And you'd see the amazing changes really, really fast. In fact, a lot of people see transformations in their autistic loved ones, gosh, in about a session, actually after the first session. So you might have a lot of questions on autism, and especially the way I see it, because it's very, very different. So leave your comments below, leave your questions below, and then we'll do a follow-up episode on where I'll answer the questions.